go. Hello, friends and family, and welcome to another Cook With Me on this Tasty Tuesday. We are going to be making some monkey bread today, and I'm so excited. You can use different variations of this recipe as well, so not everything is set in stone. Of course, like every recipe I try to give you guys, it always adheres to your personal tastes and what you prefer compared to what the recipe actually is. So if you want to substitute some things or add some things, you are more than welcome to. So some things we're going to need are a whisk and a bowl. You're going to need a half a measuring cup, a full measuring cup, a quarter measuring cup, and a teaspoon. Some of the things you're going to need are some cinnamon, some brown sugar that I have already here pre-measured out, some regular sugar, some melted butter, which here I also have pre-measured out and pre-melted. It is a half a cup. And then just some Pillsbury biscuits. You're also going to need a large Ziploc bag, a large cutting knife, or just a regular size knife, depending on if you would like your kids to be doing this part to get their fine motor skills, or if you rather them just use the bag, which you will find out shortly, which is what it's for. And then you're just going to need either a cake pan or a cupcake pan with the little sheets in it. There we go. So things you can substitute as well. You can add some Nutella. You can add some shredded coconuts. You can also add some peanuts on top if there's no peanut allergies. And then, of course, you can add like walnuts or pistachios. You can add blueberries. Again, whatever your taste buds are. So we're gonna get started by opening the Pillsbury biscuit dough. And growing up, this was always one of my favorite parts because I swear it was like magic. So that would be a really great part for your children to do. It's also a great fine motor because they have to push down on that line until it either pops or you get to the end and it pops. So just before we do anything, I'm gonna leave it as is and we're gonna open our second one. Alrighty, get the wrapping off. Gonna put that to the side, and again, you as instructed, you're just gonna want to push down on that line. There we go again. Really great fine motor part right there. Okay, so now this is where our knives come in place because we're just gonna leave them as is. We're not gonna unroll them. I know, fancy. But so what you can do is you can either just cut by sight, or you can plan out 9 little divots. We're gonna need 10 pieces in total for both, so 10 each. So I am just going to eyeball 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. And then once you get across that way, you're gonna wanna cut them in half. That way, once we put them in the bag and when they're baking, everything comes out even. I'm gonna set these aside and separate them just to make sure they've cut all the way through. Alrighty. They unravel a bit, that's fine. You can just squish them back into like a little ball. Or if there's some pieces flying off, you can add them to another piece as well. And will get this one going again. 1, 2, 3. And in half. All right, there we go. We don't need our knife anymore. Alrighty, just gonna get these separated. Alrighty, now this is the fun part. So in this bag, you are going to mix, my apologies, my laptop was shutting off. So you're going to mix 1 teaspoon of cinnamon with a 1/4 cup of sugar. So we're just gonna take our sugar here. Got my 1/4 cup measuring. So a 1/4 cup. In the bag it goes. And a teaspoon. Nice and even. Now this is where the fun part comes in. So you just take your little dough pieces and you just add them in the bag. It's okay if they stick together a little bit. They are gonna get a little squished any second. So you just wanna plop them all in. And now this is the fun part. So you just wanna make sure your bag is fully secured. And I like to leave a little bit of room just to take all the air out. And now, like I mentioned, this is the fun part, so you can throw some music on. But you're just gonna take it and you're just gonna start shaking the bag. Whoop! Again, make sure it is fully closed, otherwise that will happen, which it's okay. There we go. Shake it like that. So this is great for fine motor, it's great for gross motor. Mixing everything around. If it does spill a little bit like it did for me, I find a quick cleanup is either using a wet cloth or even one of those handheld vacuums. So quick, easy cleanup if it does happen to open like it did for me. Alrighty, that should be good. So I'll bring this a little closer here. So if you can tell, they are coated in the cinnamon and sugar. So now we're going to place them in our little tin here. Now if you're doing it in a cake pan, you can just pour it straight out. If you're doing it in like a muffin tin or a cupcake tin, you can just pull out like little clumps by the handful and just stick them in there. And then once it's filled, you can go back and add more into other places. Almost there. Alrighty, just for the ones that are overflowing a little bit, I'm gonna switch it up a bit. Just so they bake evenly. So this one kind of came apart a bit, but squished it back down. My apologies. My laptop keeps turning off. There we go. Should not have that problem anymore. My apologies, friends. Alrighty, so our last step before we put these in the oven is we're going to take our 1/2 cup of brown sugar and we're going to add it to our butter. I'm actually going to put it in this bigger bowl here so we can mix it together. And you're just going to take your whisk, or you can take a fork, and you just really want to mix it so that there's no more brown sugar clumps in the butter mix. Come closer as well so you can see. So we just have it mixing around. Alrighty, that should be good. And you just want to pour just a little bit on each. And then again, if you're using a cake pan, you can just go all around the cake pan. And a little more over here. Perfect. So now that that is ready, you are going to plop this in the oven. So that's what they look like now at 350 for 40 to 45 minutes. So I'm just putting those in. And yesterday, I'm just gonna grab a cloth so I don't burn my hands. Yesterday, friends, I made one ahead of time. But as an example, I made it in a cake pan. So once it's done cooking, this is what it will look like. And then this is when you can add whatever toppings you like. You can add some walnuts, you can add some pistachios, you can add Nutella on top of it, you can add peanut butter on top of it, whatever you prefer. You can try out different combinations as well. It all depends on your taste buds. And then once it comes out, you're just gonna wanna let it cool for about 5 minutes. And then to serve it, you just pull it apart. So I hope you guys enjoyed the monkey bread that we made today on our Cook With Me. And I hope you have fun making this recipe and trying out different combinations or different toppings, or even just in the center when we were pouring the butter, you can also maybe add shaved pistachios or walnuts in there and see what it tastes like that way. Alrighty, friends, I hope you have fun with this. Bye, friends. Have a great tasty Tuesday. Bye.